Hey everybody, welcome back to another one of my videos, and in this video, which is particularly catering to category league players, we're going to be talking about how to gauge your team category by category in your entire league. So we're going to be doing each team in your league. So unfortunately, you got to turn on your detective mode. You got to do something I know a lot of you guys aren't going to want to do, and that is math. A lot of math. Now, unfortunately, there's no website currently that can help you easily determine your team category by category throughout your entire league for free. There is one, it costs $50. I would strongly advise against that, as it would be a lot in your better interest just to spend the hour or two, or maybe even a little bit longer, to come up with the numbers yourself. All right, so how do you go about this? Well, you add up all the players' numbers under a particular category together, and then you do this for all of your categories. And then you also have a side note, which is to add all of your field goal made and field goal attempts and free throw made and free throw attempts, and then you have to divide the makes by the attempts. And that's how you're going to get the percentages, and we're going to go over all of that. So you repeat this for every other team in your league, and like I said, it can take up to anywhere between 1 to 3 hours, depending on how many teams you have in your league and how many players are on each team. Like if you have a 20-team league, which has like 16 or 17, 18 guys on it, like you're going to have a lot of math out of you, let me tell you. All right, so we're going to move on to the example now. Now this is Adam's team. I'm using his because he had the first overall pick in my 10-team, 9-category league draft this year. And the first example we're going to go over, there's actually two in here. So the first one we're going to go over is the easier form, which is on the right, all the way to the right is the right column, and that's points per game. So basically all you have to do is add up all the points together, and that total is going to give you your team total. So you're going to add up 29.3, 26.8, 21.5, and so on and so forth until you add up all your players. Now I do have a pro tip in this that's going to make things a lot faster, a lot easier. So instead of typing in 29.3, just type in 293, 268, 215, 200, all the way down the list. You're going to get the same amount, but instead of it being 258.5, you're going to get 2,585. And you just put the decimal point in the first column, or like in the before the last number, and that's going to be your number. And the reason why this is a pro tip is because it's going to be so much faster to hit 293 over 29 and looking for the decimal point, then hitting the decimal point, and then putting the 3. That's how I recommend to do it. All right, so for the second example, we're going to be going over the percentages. So I feel like this is very important, so you don't accidentally do something else entirely to get your percentages that will completely throw everything off. So you do not want to add, let's take the first few. You do not want to add Giannis's 55.4 with Kawhi's 47.7 with Ayton's 57.6 and go all the way down, and that's your total, and that's how you get your percentage. That is not how you're going to get your percentage. And the reason why is because of volume. Volume makes up the value in a particular category for a player. And that's something that makes the Greek Freak and even DeAndre Ayton so valuable. Look how much volume they give, and Kawhi Leonard as well. Like that's pretty good too. So what you have to do is you have to take the field goal makes, add up all those numbers, and as you can see, this team has 96 even field goals made, which it doesn't have to be even. It could be 0.1, 0.2, and so on and so forth. And then you have to also add the field goals attempted, which is important. So you add 19.3, 19.6, 15.7, all the way down. Got to do it with all your players. And for Adam's total, it's 198. So then what you do next is you divide 96 divided by 198. And that's how you're going to get your overall field goal percentage. And it's important to know this and understand this, which is why I made this a second example, so you guys don't, like I said, so you don't add just the field goal percentages and be all end all, because you don't want to think the Steven Adams 60% is going to drastically help your field goal percentage like the Greek Freak's 55.4. That's not how it works, because the Greek Freak is shooting almost 2.5 times more. The Greek Freak's going to have more of an impact on your overall field goal percentage. And actually, of Adams' team, Steven Adams is actually going to be, he just has the least amount of volume, which means he's going to impact the field goal percentage the least on Adams' entire team. All right, so moving on to my league team rankings. We're going to look at my team specifically. So this is all in order through my draft. So Adam was the first pick, so he's up on the top left. Now I had the 9th pick, so I'm on the bottom right next to the last team. So the 4th one on the bottom right. So as you can see, my field goal percentage is really poor compared to the rest of the league, along with my turnovers. Really, really bad. But I'm really good in free throw percentage, threes, and points. Those are really good numbers for my league. And I'm also competitive in assist, where I'm ranked 5th. Competitive in blocks, where I'm ranked 5th. And I want to bring this up. This is why I'm actually going over this, is because even though I'm ranked 7th in rebounds and 7th in steals, I'm actually favored a lot better in one of those categories. But first, we're going to talk about rebounds. So I'm actually not favored in rebounds too well. I'm ranked 7th at 84.8. And if you just look at, let's see, if you go over 2 teams to Jason, who selected 7th overall. So if you go to the left from my team, 2 spaces, you will see he has 90.2 rebounds, and he's ranked 5th. So that's a good portion of rebound just for two placements, right? Like almost 5.5 rebounds just for that. And that's why I'm actually weaker than what my 7th place would suggest. But in turn, we look into steals, where I'm actually favored a lot better, being 7th place, because I'm at 14.1. And why am I favored? Well, let's look at Skylar's team, who's the team right next to mine to the left. He's at 14.5, and he's ranked 4th. And even better, Jason, who's to the left of Skylar's team, is ranked 3rd at 14.8. So between the 3rd place and the 7th place ranked teams in steals, there's only a 0.7 differential, which I can make through waivers, or maybe my team will just have a better week than Jason's or Skylar's on the weeks I play them, and I could win that matchup, because 0.7 is not that detrimental like rebounds is. Like if I look at rebounds, I'm at 84.8, and if I look for the 3rd ranked rebound team, which is 2nd overall Mike's, which is the 2nd on the top left, he's at 92.2. Like, I'm not touching Mike. But like I said, with steals, I'm going to be able to compete against the 3rd ranked team, which is Jason, which is very important to understand. And that's one of the reasons why it's very important to do this if you want to have a full understanding of your league. All right, so here are my league averages in each category. So this is going to change based on a lot of things. So my team's a 10-team, 9-category league. Now, maybe you don't play 9 categories. Maybe you play 11. Maybe you play 8 and you don't have the turnovers, or whatever the case may be. And you're going to have to figure all that math out on your own. But for my team, it's 9 categories. And these are the categories. Not only that, maybe your team plays with 20 teams, or maybe you're just an 8-team team. So you can't use these percentages unless you're in a 10-man league that drafted 14 rounds. You can still use it if you're in 10 or 12-man leagues, but it's not going to be precise. So like, let's say you want to cut out the grunt work and not do the rest of your league, and you just want to look over my league numbers. If you're in a 10 or a 12-man league, you're going to come close to these numbers. Not exact, but close. All right, so looking into these numbers, we look at field goal percentage, right? 47.63%. So my team's at 45.58%, so I'm not even close to that. So I'm going to be losing a lot in field goal percentage this year. And we're going to be going over my team because it's my team, and that's what I want to talk about. So moving on to free throw percentage. Free throw percentage average is 78.78%. Well, mine's at 81.33, I believe. So I'm 2.5% above the average, which means I'm very strong in that, and I should win that a lot this year. Now going on to three-pointers made, the average is 24.6, and I should kill everyone in that this year because I'm at 30. And not only that, the second-ranked team was like at 27.5 or something along those lines. So I might lose out once or twice this year, but I should be very formidable in that category, and I shouldn't have to worry about it too much. Now rebounds is at 87 even. Now I'm at 84.8, so even though I'm close to the league average, what must have happened here? Because like we talked about, even with the third-ranked team who had 8 rebounds higher than me, what must have happened here is that there must be many players just above 87, but then the last 2 or 3 teams, probably the last 1 or 2 teams really, are probably really, really weak in in rebounds. They're probably really weak in rebounds. So if we go back to all the teams and all the projections and we look up rebounds, well, I have Skylar's team who's next to my team, so bottom middle. He's at 74.8 rebounds. And if we look at best team, which is the last one on the top, so all the way to the right, he's at 76.3 rebounds. Those are very, very weak numbers. And then everyone else is fine. Like if you look at Steeper's team, who's ranked 8, which is the last team on the bottom right, he's at basically 84. So because of Skylar and best projections in rebounds, it actually brings that rebound average down immensely to the point where you just don't want to get skewed in that. Like you don't want to, you don't want to look at that and be like, oh, well, I'm at 84.8 rebounds. I'll be fine in that. Because sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And that's why it's so important to have an understanding of everything. This is everything we're going over. This is the full depth analysis. And this rebound category is a perfect example on the benefits of doing this in your league. So moving on to assists. The league average is at 54.3, and my team is at 53.3, and it's right in the middle of the class, and that's right where it should be. And that's basically, it's the right average. Like our assists in our league are evenly distributed, more or less. So moving on to steals, which is another reason why this full in-depth analysis is so important to know and understand, is because the steal average is 14.5, and we go back onto all these teams, we see my team at 7, 14.1, and like we talked about, we go back up to, whose team was it? We go over to the Jason's team, which is the second to the bottom left, and he is ranked 3rd at 14.8. 0.7 differential, and that's just awesome. That just means there's a lot of competition that's going to happen in this category, and I can win it any week, basically. All right, so moving on to the block category, the overall average is 9.9. Now my team, I'm ranked 5th, but I'm actually above the average at 10.4. And let's see, 10.4. I feel pretty good in the block category because in second place, which is Rick's team, he's on the top middle. He's at 10.9. So a half a block, I could make that up in waivers. I could make that up on just having a good week. Now, I probably can't beat Mark's team, who's at 12.9. But between Rick's team and everyone else, every other team outside of Mark's team, I should be able to compete in blocks with. Now, I will say, even though I will be able to compete in blocks, unfortunately, I have Porzingis and Jaren Jackson Jr., so I will not be able to compete against everyone until those two come back, because that's a huge portion of my blocks that are on IR right now. And that's also important to know. I did this team before I did my IR. This was like right after my draft team. So my teams are going to change a little bit based on who I picked up. And I didn't pick up the blocks yet. So moving on to turnovers, the average is 30.5. Now, that number is awesome for the rest of my league. It's just not awesome for me. My turnovers, I have Trae Young, I have Devin Booker, I have D'Angelo Russell. They are all going to kill me in turnovers. I'm going to get slaughtered in turnovers. I'm going to have the most turnovers every week, and it's not even going to be close. But everyone else should be able to compete in turnovers more or less. Because if you look at Adam's team, who's projected 9th. Now, Adam's team is on the top left. He's at 32.1. And can I find the first team? All right, so he won't be able to play against Mark's team. But I would even say you look at Skylar's team, who's ranked 2nd, and that's a 4-point differential, and that's pretty significant. But since we do have a good portion of turnovers, based on a lot of things, Adam still can compete against a lot of players in turnovers. Maybe not even Skylar's team, but anyone close to that 30 mark, and Adam should still even be able to compete. Mainly, though, it's going to come down to likely Mike's team, who's the 2nd on the top right, at just over 31 turnovers a week. Well, or not a week, but through the team total. He should be able to compete against most of the teams, probably up to the 4th ranked team, which is at 29.1. So that's probably a lot closer. So there's going to be some competition at the turnover category. Not as much as maybe I have said, now that I'm thinking about it, but there should still be a pretty decent competition. It's pretty spread out at the bottom, but I just jacked it up with the 37 turnovers. Like, I jacked that average up so hard. That's okay, though, because the league average in points is 254.5, and I'm 2nd at 275. So what I'm going to lose in turnovers, I'm going to make up in points, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm ranked 2nd. No one else is close to me, and I'm right behind Mike's team, which is on the top right, the 2nd team, who only has 3.8 points projected more than me. So I'm going to be able to compete with everyone. I'm going to kill a lot of people in that category, and I'm going to still be able to compete with Mike. All right, guys. So that's my league averages and how my league is viewed this year. Now we're going to actually go into a week 1 matchup. This is an actual matchup going into week 1. It's Adam's team and Jose's team. Now, before I do that, guys, please like this video if you find it helpful and informative, and make sure to subscribe because I plan on bringing out a lot more fantasy basketball content all year round. So you're going to want, if you're watching this and you like this content and you feel like it's helping you, you're going to want to subscribe because you're going to want more information that I give throughout the whole year and for future seasons. All right, so moving on to this week 1 matchup that we have here. All right, so on the very far left and the very far right are Adam's team and Jose's teams respectively. Now on the inner parts, those columns are the projections of each team. So we are going to be going over the matchup determination category by category with this weekly matchup. So in field goal percentage, Adam holds 48.48 and Jose has a 48.45 percentage. And they are so close to even in field goal percentage as you can get. And I'm pretty sure they're ranked 1st and 2nd. If we come back up here, okay, so they're ranked 2nd and 3rd. So that's going to be a really fun match for them to watch throughout the whole week. Now, in free throw percentage, though, they're both the worst. The 2 worst teams ranked 9th and 10th. But even though they're ranked 9th and 10th, Adam actually holds a significant edge at 2.5% in this category. So he has the edge. In 3-pointers made, Adam's ranked 3rd and Jose's ranked 8th. And the difference is almost 5 points. So Adam should breeze through the week in this category and win it easily. In rebounds, Adam has 94.8 and Jose has 92.3. Both are ranked first and second in the league and should result in heavy competition in this category. This is a toss-up category, guys. This category might be the difference between winning or losing your weekly matchup. Now, we play each category, so we play 9 matchups, but I'm just saying if you're playing a most category league and you have a matchup like this, it might come down to rebounds. All right, in the assist category, although Adam is ranked 6th and Jose is ranked 2nd, Jose has an edge in this category with a differential of 4.1, which is it's enough. 4.1 is enough where Jose should likely win this category. Now moving on to the rest of the categories, we have steals up next. Adam is ranked 1st and Jose is ranked 10th. It's over a 3-point differential in this category, which means Adam should have an easy W this week in steals. Moving on to blocks, although Adam is ranked 4th and Jose is ranked 7th, the differential is only 1.1, so it's anybody's category to win. In turnovers, both teams have a high turnover rate, as the differential is only 1.6, so anyone can win in this category. It's close enough where, if anything, it could go either way, whether Adam or Jose has more players playing or less players playing, or just maybe one team has a good turnover week. Either way, it could go either way. And in the final category, which is points, Adam has a 25.1 point differential. It should win this category easily. Like, it shouldn't even be close in that category, upon projections at least. Alright, so my matchup conclusion is Adam will almost certainly win 3-pointers, steals, and points, and will very likely win free throw percentage, which is 4 categories, guys. Now, Jose is certainly going to win turnovers. Okay, why did I put turnovers? I think I meant to put... Oh, hold on. Let's take a look, guys, because maybe I messed something up here. No, turnovers is close. All right, I must have looked at the wrong thing, guys. So, turnovers is a wash, but Jose is very likely to win assist. So let me change this up a little bit. In the end, the matchup will most definitely come down to field goal percentage, rebounds, blocks, and turnovers, and can go from anywhere from a 5-4 win for Jose still. So if he wins turnovers, field goals, field goal percentage, rebounds, and blocks, he could win. But I believe the best he can do is 5-4. Or it can go up to 7-2, a win for Adam. And then that goes if Adam wins 3, steals, points, which he's heavily favored in, and free throw percentage, which he is also favored in. And if he goes on to win field goal percentage, rebounds, and blocks. Now, I could even say Adam could win 8, even up to 8-1 with the turnover differential as well. Adam's just very unlikely to win assist and shouldn't compete in assist, but he can actually go 8-1 this week. So this week, Adam is the overall heavy favorite going into this matchup and should at least win the matchup, if nothing else, and win 5-4. But he should pick up some categories, and after the end of week 1, he should have he's going to be 1 or 2 in his division. He should be a top dog after week 1 for sure. All right, guys, remember, please hit that like button if you like this content and if you found it informative and helpful, and subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to be bringing more of this content all year round. All right, and that's it for this video. Have a good one, guys.